Every youngster wants to kick a great goal after the siren. Unfortunately for me, at AFL level, I had a shot against the Western Bulldogs on a big Friday night and I fluffed it.
He's missed it! We have a tie at Colonial!
But these 5 shots were ones I'll never forget, where blokes absolutely nailed it after the siren. At number 5, I've got Tom Hawkins back in 2012 against the Hawthorn Football Club. It was a great rivalry and Tommy buried the Hawks again.
He can go the distance.
Well, we want to freshen up here. This for the game then. Kick is on the way. Siren's gone. They've done it again. They've done it again, the Cats.
What I loved about that goal from Tom Hawkins was the degree of difficulty is as hard as any after the siren shot I've seen. He was so far out. He would have had heavy legs. He'd been dominant, so he's a confidence player, Tom Hawkins, and pretty much the sound of the ball coming off his boot you could hear from the commentary box where I was, and it never looked like missing, and the way his teammates jumped on top of him and celebrated, it's a moment I'll actually never forget. At number 4, I've got Luke Shuey of the West Coast Eagles against Port Adelaide in a massive elimination final back in 2017.
In extra time to send the West Coast Eagles on in season 2017. He's kicked the goal. The Eagles have won.
When you're actually playing for your season, that even adds extra pressure to a kick, and that's what Luke Shuey was doing in this situation. Extra time, as I spoke of in previous kicks, heavy legs, hostile crowd. Pretty much in Adelaide, it's the toughest crowd to play against, to be honest, because they're pretty loud. And just to sink Port Adelaide and end their season and continue on the fairy tale for West Coast, that was a huge kick from Luke Shuey. At number 3, I've got Billy Brownless v Footscray back in 1994 in another huge final.
Well, he's had a rock and rolling season, down and out, and back he comes. Can he finish it off with a goal? Billy, you are king of Geelong!
I've heard about this kick from Billy Brownless many times. He loves it, he lives off it. He was a great finals player. I think he kicked over 60 goals, Billy, in finals, and the commentary I'll never forget for this one. Billy, you are king of Geelong, and Billy's dined off that for many, many years, but Billy was a beautiful kick for goal, and it showed in this nail-biter against Footscray on that night. I obviously wasn't born when this kick actually happened, but it's become so famous, this one. The torpedo, it's a kick that we don't see anymore, but the way Malcolm Bligh executed that kick, not many others could actually do it.
It's not over yet. Not over yet. What drama here at Princes Park. Malcolm Bligh, it's a big kick. It's a big kick.
I've never seen a torp go so far, to be honest. Some may argue it should be number 1, but Malcolm Bligh, one of the greatest players of all time, one of the most skillful players of all time, and this was a kick that just blew everyone's minds away with just how phenomenal it was. At number 1, I've got Gary Buckenara versus the Demons in the preliminary final of 1987.
Drives it down. Buckenara trip. Buckenara's free kick.
The reason I have this kick at number 1 with Gary Buckenara is for the drama. It was the moment I started to love football in 1987.
Siren sounds.
Just seeing Jimmy Steins run through the mark, Buckenara get the 20 metres or 15 metres penalty or whatever it was back at that time.
It's 15 metres! 15!
I saw even, I think it was Dipper, who rests his actually head on the shoulder of Gary Buckenara. So the pressure he must have felt at that time when you know what's at stake. This is to get into a grand final.
If he misses, Melbourne are in. There's the kick. It's a goal! It's a goal!
For him to go back with the confidence that he had and just slot it through and just see the heartbreak on Melbourne and the joy of Hawthorn are into another grand final. That one lives with me most fondly for the greatest kick after the siren that I've ever seen.